Hey there, and welcome to Tabletop Game Publishing, the Success Formula, your weekly hangout where we break down what it really takes to design, develop, and publish your board game. So if you're aiming to turn your game idea into a published success, this is your formula. This is Tabletop Game Publishing, the Success Formula podcast.
One of the things that really likes about that the amount of unsuccessful Kickstarter that are around, which there are a lot.
Yes. Yes.
It's like everyone. It's a lot of people is doing probably the same mistakes. Maybe.
I know that many other very famous game designers already spoke about the topic, like Stonemeyer, Jamie, and they do mention a lot of good points, which I think we can also repeat or use when we discuss here. One of the points that I know that was resonated with me a lot was the price was too high. So sometimes a lot of in the industry we have like the X5 rules or X6 rules, from the production cost, the landed cost to your selling price. But this rule, also depends on your game. Doesn't always follow, is not always correct, because if you are an indie game publisher and you're only publishing 500 games, you're only manufacturing 500 games, maybe you will not reach that X5 MSRP return, right?
Yeah.
But the price that you put on your product should follow, when you think about it, should follow what the market wants and wishes, right? So if I can spend $55 and get like game A, which is equivalent to your game, so why will I spend like $70 for your game, right? So I would still want to spend $55 across both games. So I think that point really resonated with me. And just FYI, like if you do produce your game, I feel like the quantity where you do start getting this X5, X6 return or the quantity where you get the actual X5 from the MSRP is actually like when you start producing like 2,000 sets, 3,000 sets. And
the cost curve and the income curve hit right well. Yeah, it's pretty much near.
Yeah,
2,000,
that's more or less a 2,000, right?
Yeah.
If you're a game designer, maybe even for your 1,000, if you print 1,000 games, if you design your components in very specific ways, you will still be able to reach that X5. But usually Kickstarters, they love to have all these like SKUs and all these different products, all these new stretch goals, just to attract more publishers. And these stretch goals add-ons add more money to their cost as well. So I feel like it's always a fine balance to balance these two.
But as a manufacturer, when the designer should get in contact with the manufacturer to see if they can help them out with this component selection?
This is a very good question. And I'll speak frankly a little bit here. So when we started Hero Time many years ago, we actually, I don't know, you remember, Pablo, we helped anyone with a game concept, we helped. And from our data, now I'm 5 years into operations, right? So I already know which customers contact us, which game publishers contact us, and which one of them goes into production. And usually we found that out of the people that are at the game concept or prototype or like not prototyping stage, but their playtesting stage, where they make the prototype at home and they play around with people, we found that there's a drop rate of at least 80% of people that are in this stage that will never move forward with making artwork with their game. Like they will be stuck in that stage. So previously, I always used to say maybe come over from your game concept already. But now, when I'm a little more into this industry, I feel like maybe you have your game concept, you marinate on it, you think about it, you design your game, you play it out. If you already put in half year into your game, and this game, you will move forward with it. You already you're in the choosing component stage where you want to translate that playtesting prototype you made at home into an actual product, I think at that stage, you can already start reaching out to manufacturers. Um, the best time is before you start making the artwork, right? So you chose your components again and again. You refine them, what exactly you need. That's the best time to talk to the manufacturer, because the manufacturer might, I don't know which manufacturer you will use, but the manufacturer might give you advice as what size you want to use for better pricing, right? And then you can start designing all the assets accordingly. If you already create your assets, it becomes um, you don't want to change your work assets anymore, so you will be left with the price that you have. Again, this is mostly, I'd say, for like the indie game publishers, right? Those that do like 2,000 and under, where saving money on standard components is essential. If you're like a large publisher or you already did it before, and you know what you want in your game, then like you can customize a paper, you can set up the machines, everything for that order. So it's a little different than an indie game publisher. Yeah, because you will get those good prices even if you know, have an incorrect size, so to speak.
We talk about the price to hide. There's another things that Jamie mentioned in a 10-item list. The other one is the art and graphic design aren't impactful. So what do you think about it?
Um, Actually, it's an incredible point, and I feel like there's more to it than only the artwork. So if I may add on, it is like when you design a game is a product like any other product that you have on the market, right? Essentially. So you really need to identify who your customer audience is, like who is going to play your game. And if you look at who is going to play your game, you want to also understand what games they bought before, what games they love, right? And when you look at the games they already love, you can see what artwork styles, resonate with them. So if you try to target this audience with your gameplay and with your artwork, but it's not suitable for them, you either want to change your audience or you want to change your game to fit the audience, right? So I feel like, yeah, the artwork and the game design or gameplay itself also is a massive uh, consideration to have, but it should be within the frame of who exactly is my target audience. Is this concept in marketing of like the user persona, right? So who is your user? Is it a father want to play a game with their family? Is it like a few dudes sitting together wanting to play a fun game together? Is it a mother or a grandmother buying a product for her child, or for a grandson? Like you really want to understand who your target audience is so you can target them both with the game design, the complexity, and the artwork. So,
It's
so yeah,
pretty much like matching the mechanic of the game with the people that they're going to play with it. Talking about art nowadays, there's an issue that it's coming to everyone. Everyone knows about it, which is AI. Using images on AI. It is a topic. I think it's a topic that it deserves its own special episode. But what do you think about the using of AI on the final product? Because there are some people that say, no, AI is pretty good for prototypes, but later on it would be better if it's an artist. But what do you think about it?
um, yeah, it's very very controversial AI, right? Like,
It is.
it's controversial for everyone, and so many businesses are adopting it. Like I know we work on Microsoft, so Microsoft has now like dozens of AI agents you can build for different things in order to implement into your operations. I know like Tesla took its Grok and put it as a customer service for their whole like Tesla. So AI is massive, and it's also very big for gaming, right? So you have special AIs that can help you design artwork for your game and graphics. So it's a very difficult, like this is the age we live in eventually, and the end of the day it's a very harmful age because now there will be a lot of stuff online that you don't even know if they're real or not. But for board games, if I would adopt it for board games, I would say like if you're a game designer, right? This is your first game, you have no idea what you're doing, you want to play test a game with your family, with friends. if you can generate, like, AI will not generate for you the perfect artwork consistently across all your components, right? So if you go into Gemini or you go to ChatGPT and you tell them, okay, I need artwork for a box that I'm working on, right? It will give you some sort of artwork, whether you can manipulate it with Adobe Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop or not. It's a different topic.
But
But
right now we're having huge tools like you mentioned Adobe, and Adobe has a Adobe Firefly that allows you to create prompts that will remain. It will hold some information between images, so it will keep consistency. That's, I mean, it is getting bigger and bigger, and it's getting better and better, actually.
yeah, yeah. But is
So
it original? That's
yeah.
also another question that you want to ask yourself. Is AI an original, like, is it original drawing, painting, artwork, or is it something that people notice it, right? I don't know. It's a very tough topic, to be
It is
honest.
a bit. And the
I
other
would,
question that it brings
I would
is,
suggest
it is
maybe
yours.
to, yeah,
And then
it is
another
yours.
question that it brings, it is yours. Once you design it and you put it in your game, you can use it. Someone else can use it. All that kind of stuff. It really, really. I mean, as I say, I think it's a whole episode on AI. I think it comes, it will stay. I remember, I mean, I'm almost 50, so I remember when the PC was introduced in the administration process, and it was like there was a lot of people that say, "No, I'm still doing all the paper and something." It ended up, well, we will end up all using computers, but I think this is that kind of revolution that I saw in the 80s, on the late 80s actually. Um, I think it's there. I mean, it is there. It was there for a little bit. I mean, there was a small AI tools that helped things in the last, I will say, 7 years, 8 years, like grammar checks or Photoshop, one magical tools that you have there. So it was there, but now it is in front of the user. So now the user is saying, okay, should I use it? It's okay to use it. So it brings a lot of questions, actually.
I would maybe say how to use it, right? From a business perspective, obviously. If you eventually, like, if you're a game designer, you want to sell your game and you want to save cost as you sell your games, I would say, like, when you prototype first, like, at home, like when you playtest, it would be nicer if you can give like nice artwork for the players so they can immerse better into the game, right? It's not your final artwork, it's not what you're going to sell to the market. Then in addition to that, you want to consider, like, one of the biggest hurdles that game creators need to go through is communicating their requirements with their artist, because, like, you have a vision for your game, right? In your brain, somewhere in your mind, like, you see it, you envision it, but the person, the artist that you're talking to, doesn't fully understand your vision. He doesn't live your vision. So you being able to go into Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever it is, right? And start generating some imagery for reference. Right? I'm not saying you generate your whole game from it, but you generate some imagery for reference that you can tell your designer, say, listen, I love this about this. I love this about that. Like, more or less, I want something similar to this style design, right? And then you save a lot of, like, we call it internally, like,
Yeah.
downloading your brain, right? So when you need to download your brain into your designer, into your artist, having AI there as an assistant is a great tool. But I don't think AI should generate, like, the whole game, because that will be yeah, I don't know. I don't even
And
want to
again,
think about it.
it comes another questions, like ethical questions. It's not
Yeah,
specifically an art thing, more like an ethical thing that we maybe do a podcast about it. But
yeah,
yeah,
we can.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I just want to mention one more point about the crowdfunding and failed crowdfunding campaigns. Is like, I'm very good friends with the crowdfunding nerds, and I've spoken to them at length multiple times. And in my eyes, they're like the authority when it comes to, like, ads and marketing for your board game on crowdfunding campaigns. And through the conversations with them, I actually learned quite a bit. And what it seems like is, like, you don't want to launch your game too early. And I think Jamie also mentions this point, but you want to have enough subscribers, enough followers in your mailbox, in your quick crowdfunding campaign, page launch. So when you launch your Kickstarter, it will fund on the first day. And usually the conversion for it ranges anywhere between like 10-20%. Right. So if it's like mailbox subscriber, from what I understand, it will be like 8%. If somebody follows you directly on Kickstarter, we're looking more at like 18-20%. So you want to have enough backers to back your campaign on day one, so it's fully funded. And to achieve like, so how do you get all these subscribers and how do you get all these followers on your crowdfunding campaign? So you have the organic method and then you have the ads method. So the organic method is throughout your development of your board games. This whole development process is actually kind of a marketing asset. And I think, Pablo, you also mentioned this to me many times before, right? You make a design change, right?
Yeah.
you
I
you
mean,
always,
it
yeah.
is more a market. Oh, as you said, Jamie. I mean, we don't need to go through all the 10 items that Jamie said. Yeah, I invite the people that is watching this to go to the article and check it out. But uh, marketing, it's another issue there, and it's a huge one for me because people doesn't understand that. I always say the same to the designers. When you have your game, I will not say 100% done because you don't have it done, but you have a solid thing that you already tested with your people, and then you move to a convention or a bar or whatever, and you try with people, and people or also like it. And this is a little back and forward that I always say that it's a retrofitting thing that you will do doing. And while you're doing that, it is a great idea to show everyone that you're doing that. Because when you get to the next level, which is, okay, I have a solid prototype, I want to create it, let's say, with a POD company, or I will already contact a manufacturer and they already can produce me a prototype for me. You will have already people there that will talk about your game and will react to your socials and will say, yeah, I know that game is great. So if someone says it's great, other ones may find out that, okay, if it is great for someone, maybe I need to check it out. The thing is that if you go to the Kickstarter right away, that you have, okay, I have my game, let's go to Kickstarter right away, there's an issue there. No one is going to start talking about it right at the beginning. We will maybe talk a little bit later on another episode about how Kickstarter works, but the first 48 hours are crucial. And
Yes.
how do you get to those 48 hours if you don't do anything before that? So that's marketing. And
Yeah.
when you start the marketing, well, that's a question that I would like to know to ask you. And so when
Yeah.
you
I
start
think
marketing,
I think from people in the community is so helpful. Like everybody in the community is super helpful. Obviously, you have some negative people, which is normal. But if you have like a prototype and you have a design question, right? Like, what do people prefer? Ask the community. They're all there, right? You go on Facebook, you have groups. You ask in the group, what do you think I should do? I'm having this prototype dilemma. I'm having this game mechanic dilemma. What do you guys think I should do or prefer doing? And if you do this consistently, right, over 3, 4, 5 months, people will get to know you. People will get connected to your game because they invested time in it, and that's all about like the organic marketing that comes with your design. And the beautiful part is you designing your game specifically for your audience, while your audience gives you a feedback loop. We actually, in the business terms, we call it like lean operations, where um, you have lean and waterfall. Waterfall is exactly like you mentioned. You finish the product launch, right? Boom, falls on everyone. But then you have the lean where you have a minimum viable product to show. You show it, you get feedback. You show again a revision, you get feedback. And that kind of lean process is something that is so unique to our industry. And I think many people should take the advantage that we have with this. But I also want to mention the importance of ads. Like eventually, in the end of the day, not everyone is on Facebook, and not everyone has time to invest in your stuff. But then, when you do ads, whatever ads it may be, it can be a Meta ad, it can be a TikTok ad, it can be a YouTube Short ad, it can be Instagram, whatever it is, right? People, you push the product to their face, and then they can choose if they want to subscribe or not. And you need to make it appealing enough for them to subscribe. So so you need to perfect your ads campaign constantly to make sure you get the best conversion from your ads. And then you can launch a Kickstarter, right? So you have your subscribers, you have your followers, your organic reach is incredible, your ads spent is maximized and efficient, and then you launch a Kickstarter, and the sky's the limit, really, with the Kickstarter campaigns.
Cool. Well, I think that's sum up for now. We covered, I think, pretty much the most important topics of this article about how to avoid failed Kickstarter campaigns that we have on our website. For those who are watching, herotime1.com. If you go for the guides sections, you will find hundreds of articles. This is just one of those, and it's really helpful. It will bring you a lot of information right away for free and easy to read. And I suggest you to read them, and of course you can reach us. I'm on the socials here or there, and also you can contact directly herotime1.com. There's a lot of bunch of people that can help you out through the whole process here. Well, I think it's great. As I always suggest to the ones that are watching or hearing this, you can get into herotime1.com. One, it's the number one. On the guide sections that you will see right on the top of the website, you will get into a bunch of articles, always for free, always available, about everything you need to know about making your game, design it, produce it, shipping it. So if you hear this, subscribe, remember, look for us and follow us, and you will find a lot of content that will help you get your game done. That's the most important thing. Okay?
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Hirsch.
Very welcome.
On the next one and on the next article.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks so much for listening. This is Tabletop Game Designer, The Success Formula, a podcast by Hero Time, your board game manufacturing companion. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. And check out our website, herotime1.com. You'll find the article we talked about in this episode, plus a bunch of other cool stuff to help you get your game on everyone's tabletop.